back! It is 4:55 PM and it's the 15th of February. I've just gone and picked up another order. I'm coming home. It's a little bit crappy outside at the moment. It's a bit real dark. I am going home. I don't actually know the quantity of shirts until I peel the boxes that are in my boot at the moment. I've got some shirts in there. I've got the artwork coming through for the 2 orders. I'll go through, I'll see if I get the artwork tonight, and I might be able to get it ready, and then possibly tomorrow or the next day I can see about getting in the shed and getting the order done. I just have to wait and get that image through. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. You know, when you're talking to customers, the best thing to do is have them give you the images that, you know, then you can go through, look at it, and then they'll send you through possibly a JPEG. You can't use it when you're screen printing. What you're looking for are vectorized images. Then you sort of throw it back to them and say, hey, look, can I have this vectorized? Then they go through the process and make sure that it's okay with their customer, and then they'll send it through to you vectorized. Finally, we have a piece of artwork we can actually use. So I'm gonna have them email through to me tonight, and then fingers crossed I can get on to putting them on my screens, because I've got some screens there ready to go. Really good. I think the ones are a white on black, so white plastisol ink, and the other one is black on heather grey shirt, I think it might have been. That's what it was on the mock-up that was sent through, but we'll just see what happens, what's actually in the box. I took on the orders and I'm happy to take them on, because this is exactly where I want to be. I want to be pushing forward, taking on things and doing bigger orders. Bigger orders come in, more money into the business, and 100% of that money is invested back into the business. That is new inks, more emulsion, better quality emulsion, more screens, because what I want to do is I want to buy some higher mesh count screens. With the higher mesh count, as you're passing through the ink, less goes on and it makes a finer, more delicate ink impression on the shirt. You go down to 40 mesh and it really puts a lot of ink onto the fabric or material that you're putting it onto. And the higher up, the less it actually puts onto the shirt. Because what I want to be doing is I want to be working more with water-based inks. I really like it and I like the feel of it, but it's more in my arsenal. I've got the water-based and I have the plastisol. I've been really working with the plastisol because it is so easy to use. It sits on the screen, it doesn't dry in the mesh, no issues that way. Whereas with the water-based, you have to make sure that your screen's flooded, and it's a little different, but it's better to make sure that you cover both those, and then into the future we can then try discharge ink and things like that. But I really want to get some high mesh count screens. Just play around, really. I just want to have the opportunity. The really good thing about the tote bag job I did was I got to make my own screen printing platen. As dodgy as it may look, it did the job, and I've got that sitting there. All I need to do is buy myself a little screen printing bracket, and I've got it. It just sits there. I've only got the one bracket, so hey, look, I'm going to have to swap the platens over that way. Another thing, I've got so many things that I want to buy for my business, but I want to buy a sleeve platen. I want to be able to put images down the sleeves of hoodies and things like that. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that, because in Australia, I'm very limited to places to get it. I would love to go to Ryanair and get some things from there, but they don't ship, or at least I haven't found that they shipped to Tasmania. In Australia, look, they've got some really cool stuff. I want to find somewhere that does reasonably good quality squeegees. There's so many things I want, and the only way I'm going to get them is by working and earning money through the business. The best thing to do is just invest in yourself and your business, and in the future, years to come, you will reap the rewards. It may be hard now, but just put the time and effort in, and trust me, I'm telling myself this, I'm talking to myself here, it will happen. Just persistence, keep punching away at it. Yeah, like a woody woodpecker, just gnawing away, and then do it enough, you find yourself a nice house. Good morning, it is, let me just check the time, because I'm doing this now, I'm telling everybody the time when I'm doing these recordings. It is 8:28 right now. I have been up since 5. Don't mind the face, I'm very, very tired. I was up at 5, I had to be in Launceston to work on a car. It was a Porsche 911. I was working on it, it came off, it towed into the workshop, and then diagnosed it to an ignition trigger box, replaced that. The guy who owned the car, actually, I diagnosed the car at 12 PM. He managed to get the actual box delivered from Melbourne within the space of a few hours. Like, this guy had cash. I think the flight from Melbourne to Tassie with the box that he got delivered from a friend over there was $760. That's not including the Bosch part, which has been out of production for 10 years. Hey, what a whole thing. So it was really good. He was really happy. So I'm actually quite happy that I managed to make it in an hour and a half trip in and back. The job probably took about 40 minutes. But hey, I digress. Today I have a ton of shot I've got to print, and I wanted to just catalogue. I'm sorry about the hair and the beat. I haven't had a shower. I want to catalogue me doing an order that is actually quite substantial. Going through that process, seeing how my screens hold up for 100, 150 t-shirts. I want to go through that process and dialogue it and show, you know, you're doing this over and over and over. This is my first over 100 order. I just want to catalogue it so that you and I can go through this for the first time together. Yeah, maybe if you're a veteran screen printer, you might look at me and laugh and say, hey, ha 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 ha, I do this every day. Well, this is my first time. I've got the order come in, I've got the shirts ready, I've got the screens ready to just put it onto the actual, get it ready, line it up, and I'm ready to put ink onto shirt. So, coffee in hand, I'm ready to do it. Got the actual flash dryer going. These are my boxes. So this is one order I've got today. And yeah, so I'm going to have to unpack all of those and make sure they're okay. And that's one of the boxes. And then we've got, so we got that box over there, and then we've got this box here, which is exactly the same, just of t-shirts. Okay, so we've got that order, and then we've also got this order here, just some AS colour shots. I think I might do the small order first, get in the rhythm, complete it, and then I'll get on to the biblical task of unbagging all of these and getting them ready to then be put onto the platen. I might have to stick some new tape on there, so we'll go through the process and put some new tape on there, because everybody likes a clean platen. Clean platens make me kind of randy. the adhesive is down, it's heated up. I have my flash dryer, which is up to temp. I'm going to leave that 500 watt lamp off because it is going to be 28 degrees today in my area, so it's going to be relatively hot and it's going to be stanky. I've got a flash dryer going, I've got heat going, I've got heat on the outside, I've got heat coming in here, heat coming out there. It's going to be a sweaty day, so prepare to see me sweat. I'm so glad I didn't have a shower. I'm one of those people, you have one shower a day, and you know, fancy people might have two, but I only have one. So look at the greasy hair. What's in all, people? I'm not just here to look good, I'm here to teach as well. But I've got my thing set up. I am now going to go through and set up my off contact on this one screen. I only like to set up one screen at a time. Yeah, I know, it would be more efficient to set up two screens and then it's done. But the one thing I don't like, and I will invest in a better one, is this 4-color press. It's shoddy. One thing I can't really rely on is having a really good like setup, because you know the thing has got so much movement in it. It's not very good. It was like a $200 from eBay or whatever it was. It got me started and I'm still using it. But the one thing I did do, I've got a tip for you. Another tip. It's free. Just it's not even free. Just consider liking or subscribing or something if you like these tips. But there is this piece here. Well, underneath this part here, there was actually a washer. And that washer, it was actually moving on it. So it would just wobble. So I've taken that washer out. And now, you know, see how it's still wobbling? Well, before it actually had a ledge to tip over, and it was ridiculous. So if you buy one of these cheap presses, remove that washer. Remove that washer or whatever goes on underneath this part here. It's just just this bolt here. If you can see it. Can you see it? That bolt. And that middle one. Undo it, lift it up, get rid of that washer and put it back down, and it should help a little bit. Just keep registration, because you do the thing, it's not reliable. Doing an underbase and then a second layer, the second coat or whatever, it just doesn't do it. I've done a few jobs and you're there for 3-4 hours trying to get this thing to register, and then you do a couple of shots and then it ends up going haywire anyway. So I'm going to do that, going to get that organised, get my off contact ready, and then I'll get my first lot of shots done. Yes, I will. But remember, if you get one of these cheap, remember the washer and say, hey, Daddy Boy Zach gave me that idea and it worked and it made it a little bit better, and I'm able to keep registration a little bit longer on this cheap press, which will give you a little bit longer before you have to buy a more expensive one. Just save up my money, save up my pocket money. Let me get this thing sorted. Whenever I'm mixing up my ink, I always want to make sure I'm wearing gloves. I don't know, it saves me on cleaning up stuff, and you always get ink everywhere, man. The pots that I keep my ink in are covered in ink, you know, and I think it's better just to wear gloves, then you don't get it inside your skin. It's nice. Another thing you definitely have to invest in are baby wipes. Good quality baby wipes just make the cleaning up process an absolute cinch. Oh, just wipes off so easily. These are the ones that I'm using. We use this for our son, and it just works fantastic. I think it might be the orange and lavender oil that's in it. Possibly. I don't know if that's even in it. You know how it is. Go through that process as if this was your first shot. Just going through, giving it a nice heat up, and then I should hit it again and make sure that everything's okay. There's no pinholes, no issues, and then after that I will then go on my print run and get it all done. Hey, it's time to earn some money. Print, 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 baby. Here we go. Don't worry about the actual fabrics being absolutely caned, but there it is, a little bit of a spot there. Focus, bad boy, you can see it right there. Spoken about this before. We know what to do. We know what to do to clean that out. I'll get onto that, give it a nice clean, and then I think we might actually get onto the print. Yes! No, we're not going to get onto the print run just yet. I've literally just gone through and tried to clear that mesh as I put some stuff into it, and it has absolutely if you can see that, it came out of registration. I was like, what have I done? Another thing that you got to make sure that you do is that you actually tighten the actual screen into the actual holder. Make sure you tighten these things. It's funny though, because these things actually hold the screen onto the actual press. And if they're not tight, the screen moves! Oh my gosh! Did you not know that? I think I might have another test run it. So I've been doing a print run. I've got probably about 10 shirts done, and I put a shirt down and I hit it and it didn't quite go down. I didn't put enough pressure in there to sort of set it in. I don't like to put too much plastisol, white plastisol, on my shirts. You know, I don't want them really having that thick, weighed down feeling, and I don't really like it, and I don't know if customers would like it. But I went down, did my pass, and then just ran a little bit over, and I noticed that there was a little bit was coming up. So what I did is I put the screen down, and then I just went for a push, and it's destroyed some of the detail. As you can see, it's just destroyed the detail in it, and it's got that holographic look. One shot down. It's just one of these things. I don't know. I don't know if that's bad, if that's my fault for the way that I pulled it, had the mesh clean, and then pushed it, and that's my fault, or is it my registration did the screen move differently from when I pulled it to when I pushed it, or is it my off contact? It's one thing, see, you go through this and you're doing a job and you just want to get the job done. You don't really have the time to sit there and nut it out. You just have to sort of think about it. And, you know, ink's on this mesh. I think what I will do is I will not push, and I will not pull and then push it. I don't know if the actual 4-colour press actually moves, because I'm pulling it, it's already a certain way, and then when I push it, it actually sends it off registration. Because, you know, I don't think I should have to worry about stuff like that. I think I should be set up, off contact's perfect, it comes down, and I really shouldn't have any issues with pushing and pulling. Maybe the fabric would be different, it may push it up, but I don't reckon I should go and have that holographic thing. I think that's just the cheap press, but I digress. Let's carry on. Quite a few of my shirts here. I have 3 that I won't be able to sell. That's not nose beers, that's something else. This, I've managed to put my finger on the design. One of the images has become holographic. And another one of the designs just, it was absolutely had it. I can't remember what happened to it. Yeah, it became holographic, I guess, again. Just the registration on this screen is, oh no, actually it wasn't. The adhesive on the palette just stopped being adhesive, and then it lifted the actual shirt up, and then when I pressed it, it pressed it down, and again it became holographic that way. So that's 3 out of the shirts that I've been supplied that I won't be able to sell. It happens. It happens. I was thinking to myself, oh shit, I've effed up. But the thing is, things happen. Things happen. And the initial attack of anxiety comes across, and it's like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. But then I like to just sit there and think, you know, hey, you're paying me for a job. I've messed these up. I'll pay for them. Even if you have to, if you don't want me to do them, or you want someone else to do them, I'll give you the money for what you've paid me. There you go. And, you know, I'll give you a discount whenever in the future or something. Something can be done. As long as you admit that you've effed up. I effed them up. I did it. I did it. I did it. I understand that. I messed them up, and I wanted to make sure that I did show in my videos that I mess up. It doesn't always go to plan. It doesn't always go to plan. I've got some of my screens there. I've got a heap of screens down there. I did this screen. I blew the thing apart. Let me see if I can find it. I did, it was a little bit, it wasn't that bad, There was a name on there, and it had capital B's, and when I was washing it out, what I like to do is I like to spray it down with a lot of water once it's come off the actual curing or the exposing process. I like to hit it with a lot of water really fast, and then let it sit there. Give it 30 seconds to a minute, and then what I like to do is I like to go with the mist and spray it until I start to see the emulsion starting to break down. So I just agitate it a bit, and then I stop again, and then I let it go, and then I go with the mist, and I just start pushing out all that emulsion. So what I did do was I had a design here, and it has a lot of detail in it. It has a lot of detail in it. It's just small details, and I really don't want to be working a lot of the water in there. So I thought, I'll break it down with the mist from the hose. Starting to see that emulsion start to blow away just little bits, and then I said, "Alright, go, stop." And then I got my my pressure washer and just blew it out as fast as I could. I was like, that worked really well. So I was like, oh well, I'll hit it with my, expose it, then I'll hit it with my lot of water just to sort of stop the exposing process, and then I'm going to hit it with my gun, just blow it out. I got a little bit heavy-handed. I started at the top, and I worked my way down, and by the time I got to the bottom, there was too much water in the emulsion, and there was too much pressure, and it started to blow out the bees, the middle of the bees. It was just getting a little bit, starts to come out like a flap. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's like the emulsion's actually on the mesh, and it started to come off and fade away. It starts to crisp around the edges, So I do mess up. I do. Don't ever think that it's all hunky-dory and it goes swimmingly. I just don't want you to think that that's the case. Even if I don't show all my mess-ups every time, there's probably been a few, and I just don't want to burden you with that all the time, but I do want to make sure that you do realise I do. Just a little piece of information just to make sure that I am human and you're human and things like that happen, but there is always an answer and there's always a solution to the issue, There's always a solution to the issue, and if something happens, I just say, hey, look, I can endeavour and do my best to rectify that issue. Hey, you want to send me some shirts? I'll buy the shirts off of you at your retail rate and I'll print on them and then give them back to you, It can be fixed. Just remember, it can be fixed. Don't fixate on the issues. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get your kids in and we'll count to 10 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. I've got 13 left to do, plus the one that's already on here. 14. Hey, it's been a productive day, and it's actually taken me a little bit longer than what I thought it would. And I'm starting to realise how much ink these jobs actually take. They do actually take quite a lot of ink. I've been doing 1 or 2 or 3 jobs, and something like this little pot here, I just got a little speedball pot. Yeah, that's not gonna do this. No way. No chance. And I don't even know if the 8-ounce one will do. I don't even know if the 8-ounce one will do like 50 shirts. I don't think that's the case, because I'm using, what's that there? Yeah, I'm probably using about 700 grams. I don't know what that is to ink, but 700 grams for these 5 shirts, 50 shirts, which is actually the same as the tote bags. The tote bags took that. 750 grams. It's actually a fair bit when you think about it. So I'm going to get that job done, and hey, did you see? I love working for myself because I get to rock around in sponge crusty pizza. I don't own the rights to SpongeBob, so don't come at me with your copyright, okay? I'm SpongeBob. Look it up. It's actually quite funny. Krusty Krab. That was really close to my junk. So it's really hot. I'm sweating. I'm delirious. I'm talking lots. So I'm gonna get these shirts done, and I don't know if I'm gonna do these other shirts, the 100. I'll see how we go. short order. I did have a couple of stuff ups, but the customer does supply the shirts for me. And hey, and again, I'm talking to people who are interested in this or are already in the game, and you know, someone supplies you shirts, you need to supply them more than what's actually gonna be used, because things happen. Ink magically appears from somewhere. I don't know, but there's an ink goblin somewhere in here, and he just puts, he sort of, before I touch the shirt, he's like, there you go, here's a little bit of ink on the back of your thumb. Bang. You know, here's a little bit of ink, oh, I'm just going to put it on somewhere that you actually have never been before. And that's just the way it is. Things like that happen. You know, my palette adhesive ended up not actually staying tacky throughout the whole job, and I actually started lifting up. That's one issue I've never actually had to deal with, because I haven't done the orders big enough to actually run out of adhesive. Hey, those are the breaks. That's my 50 shirt order. I will, even though I have cured it on my flash dryer, I will take it inside, and I will put a little bit of parchment paper on the design and put it through the heat press at 340 Fahrenheit. I will do that for 30 seconds, or, you know, just enough so I know that the heat is getting through the whole garment. I just want to make sure that when I get the shirt, I give it to the customer and they can wash it multiple times without the design breaking down. With the tote bags, the curing under there was fine. I know that it's just going to get a little bit of rough and tumble, dropped here, dropped there, but it's not going to go through that wash cycle, because believe it or not, washing your clothes is what breaks them down. That actual agitating and pushing and twisting, that's what actually destroys your clothes. So you really shouldn't be washing your clothes that much. Everybody washes them as soon as they wear them. You know, you might wear them to the shops and back, you put them in the wash machine. But that's actually destroying your clothes, and then you're going to have to buy more later on. Well, I'm going to see how I feel about doing this other order. I don't know the time right now, but I'll check right now. 11:26, and that's actually not too bad. You know, I started the 50 shorts, I was down there, came back 9 o'clock maybe, so it's 2.5 hours to do those 50 shots. I don't know if that's good. I'd like to hear someone's opinion on this press. Oh God, I'd love to hear someone's opinion on this press. I want to hear your opinion, if anybody who's actually done, you know, more than 50, you know, what your opinion is of the press. You know that press. Everybody knows that press. It's like the most beginner press ever. It's the one you get on eBay. I'll put up a picture, and then give me some opinions on it. If you continue to use it, how long you used it before you upgraded, what kind of difference, what did you go, you went from this $200 press, what did you go to? Give me some ideas. I did have a comment before about getting a rotary press, which would help the whole process of flashing, printing. You just move it over and then it could just literally slide across. This room is 2.5 by 5 meters, so it's very narrow. It sort of holds me up a little bit. There is that over there, which is huge, but it's open to the road. I was considering getting a bricklayer. I phoned 3 and they said, hey, look, we'll get back to you. Never did. So any of you bricklayers out there, so I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. And I hope I've put enough tips and hints and tricks in this episode to make it worth your while. I love you. I appreciate you. Cheerio. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end, and I hope you enjoyed. In the next video, I'm going to go through my 150 shot order. I hope that you can